What up, everybody? I'm not going to do like a full review of the show, but I want to talk a little bit about today's AEW All In pay-per-view from Wembley Stadium in the UK, the live show. I've watched a lot of professional wrestling in my life. I've been watching it since I was 11 years old. And I gotta be honest with you. Today's AEW All In show was the greatest professional wrestling show I have ever watched in my life. I've watched stuff like old stuff. I've watched the new stuff. I've watched live. I've watched the greatest professional wrestling show I've ever watched. And I don't say that to throw shade at WWE. If anybody wants to get ticked off at me for saying about about AEW that it was the best show, I don't say that because I don't like WWE. I love WWE. And it's been a tough week. It's been a tough weekend for professional wrestling as a whole. Fans, talent, everybody. With the tragic passing of Terry Funk on Wednesday. And then the next day losing Bray Wyatt. Like, literally not even 24 hours apart. But there's not been a show that I've went into where I have felt iffy about it. And I felt iffy because it was in the UK. I didn't really know how they're going to do it. It had a lot of card matches. But I only want to talk about this. So Adam Cole and MJF are the new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. They beat Aussie Open. I love Kyle Fletcher. I think he's one of the best professional wrestlers currently today. But I gotta be honest with you, Adam Cole and MJF, baby. I mean, I have always had a immense amount of love and respect for Adam Cole. I loved him when he was in WWE and NXT. I think he's one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. I think you could safely put him in that conversation. When he got hurt and was out for so long, it sucked. As a fan of his, it sucked. And I just wished that he would come back, and I'm so happy he's back. MJF, I have had a lot of criticism on him because he's absolutely gold on the mic. Every time he steps in the ring, he's 10 out of 10. But he doesn't wrestle as often as I think he should. But I'm not the guy booking the shows. I'm not Tony Khan. I'm not the guy making the decisions. But I think when you're the AEW World Champion, you should be wrestling more often. So having him wrestle 2 matches tonight was smart by AEW. So I loved that. Also, guys, I got a Pro Wrestling Crate in yesterday. This is the new, the American Dragon kicking your heads in. It's an awesome shirt. Love it. Back to the show. I loved the match. Thought it was great. Thought it was a great match. The kangaroo kick by MJF. Just the moment itself with MJF and Adam Cole, just the tag team. It's great, man. I love it. It's awesome. The second match, Hook versus Jack Perry, loved it. I have no problem with it. I had no problem with it to begin with. Thought it was a great match. Hook won. That was the right call for Hook to win the title back. I think Jack Perry goes after the world title at some point. When? I don't know, but I think he does at some point. To open up the show, we had CM Punk versus Samoa Joe for the Real World Championship. It was a great match. Great match. CM Punk sold his butt off. Samoa Joe worked a really well match. It was great. Loved it. We had Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and Kota? I think his name is Kota. I'm not really sure. A Japanese wrestler who I should know more about, but I honestly don't. Against Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, and Juice Robinson, and Kazuki Okeshita. I know him because I love him. Great match. Fantastic match. A little weird with the finish, having Takeshita pin Kenny was a little weird, but it was okay. FTR retained their titles against the Young Bucks, and FTR had some issues this week with Cash Wheeler, but hey, from the past, we got the match. It was a great match, and FTR is still your AEW World Tag Team Champions. I want to get to the women's match. The women's match, I was a little worried because it happened after Stadium Stampede, and I got a little worried. I thought, oh no, the crowd's going to be so hot because of Stadium Stampede that they're going to just die in this match. That didn't happen. It didn't happen, and it didn't need to. The women's match was a great match. Britt Baker, Saraya, Toni Storm, and Sheeta. Great fucking match. I'll say it. Great fucking match. Saraya winning in her home country. Incredible. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but Mercedes Moné was at the show tonight, and they mentioned her several times. They showed her several times. I hope we get Mercedes in AEW, and I hope we get Mercedes versus Saraya. If y'all don't know, Saraya used to be Paige in WWE, and Mercedes used to be Sasha Banks in WWE. They had a great match, and something happened, and Sasha injured Paige, and then they were never able to. Paige had to retire. She came out of retirement though, but it was so beautiful. It was a great match. I think the story will be that Saraya pinned Toni Storm, and I think this is going to cause issues in the Outcast. Also, Toni Storm decking Ruby Soho. That's going to cause an issue. So I think the Outcast have a story going into All In. I'm sorry, All Out. Well, let's get to the main event. And there's some other matches on the card, but I want to talk about the main event. Oh, by the way, Stadium Stampede was fantastic. So, yeah. And it made me just have that much more respect for Orange Cassidy. Because I've seen his work, I love him, but I never thought he would do something like that, and I'm so glad that he did, because it made me respect him that much more. The Jericho-Ospreay match, 5 stars. It was a beautiful match. Beautiful match. Loved it. Jericho losing to Ospreay. That's going to cause problems, I think, between... They had a little thing with Sammy Guevara after. I think that's going to cause problems, and I'm looking forward to it. Well, let's get to the main event. Oh, by the way, the badass Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed are the new Trios Tag Team Champions. But main event time. Adam Cole versus MJF. Now, you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? You just said that they won the Ring of Honor World titles. Or the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. They did. They were booked twice on the show. Beautiful match, by the way. The main event was gorgeous. Adam Cole was willing to do anything to beat MJF, but MJF wasn't willing to do anything to beat Adam Cole. Adam Cole didn't mind beating him up. Didn't mind giving him a brain buster on the steps. On the steps. This dude said, boom, on the steps. But in the end, it ended up somehow being a double clothesline and then a draw. And then they're like, no, we're going to go till we have a winner in Wembley. They did. Roderick Strong, who, by the way, AEW, if you are listening to this, please, for the love of God, change his character. I'm begging you. You've got to do something. It's terrible. It's so bad. So bad. But I digress. It was a great match. I'll give you that. I'll tell you that. And MJF is still your AEW World Champion. It was beautiful. Loved it. In my opinion, AEW All In, Wembley Stadium in London, England, 10 out of 10. Give me your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Thank y'all. Bye.